Hello everyone, and welcome to Past the Post. My name is Michael Ados, and we're going to go to the very best of racing from around the world from this past week. We had some excellent racing over in Ireland as well as in the US, and France got into Group 1 action as well. We are going to start over in the Emerald Isle in Ireland for its biggest race of the year. That, of course, was the Dubai Duty Free Irish Derby, a Group 1 affair where Lambourn was the big favourite for Aidan O'Brien and the Coolmore team. He, of course, won the Epsom Derby last out and was expected to go quite close here, and indeed he did, and then some, winning by a much easier margin than the 3/4 of a length would suggest. Serious contender, his stablemate in 20H1 Longshot finished well in second under Gavin Ryan, with Lazy Griff and William Buick for Charlie Johnston finishing well in third. Lambourn, of course, was ridden by Ryan Moore for Aidan O'Brien.
As they're racing round the home turn, nothing between Sir Dinadan and Lambourn, ridden along one out from the rail, being followed by Serious Contender, who runs round them as they straighten 2.5 furlongs to go. Tennessee Stud relegated to fourth, and thrice Puppet Master, Green Impact, Pride of Addis, Shackleton and Lazy Griff. Racing inside the final furlong and a half, and Lambourn wrestles back a slender advantage from on the inside Sir Dinadan. A big race by Serious Contender on the outside, out in front of the remainder, and Lambourn is digging down deep on the inside. Lambourn from Serious Contender. Lambourn becomes a dual derby winner of the Dubai Duty Free Irish from Serious Contender. What a run by that one.
It's a lovely horse. Wayne was brilliant on him in Epsom, and Ryan was brilliant on him today. Very genuine, honest to God horse. Gets the trip very well, keeps back plenty. He's lovely and relaxed all the time. Went an even gallop, and he had company, which he loved, which was great. We thought he might have to go himself, but he had company, so it really suited him. Where do you go with him now? He's after having 3 or 4 quick runs. We might give him a little rest and then see whether he has a prep for. He can go to an Arc or he can go to a Ledger or whatever. You know, he's a lovely horse, Kevin, really. There's a lot of class in there, and he only does what he has to do. You can ride him very forward. So, classy, very classy horse, really.
Action on that Sunday card as far as the pattern affairs kicked off with the Jebel Ali Racecourse and Stables Dash Stakes, a listed affair over 6 furlongs for those sprinters. Vespertilio, the 2-1 favourite and a daughter of Knight of Thunder, won well here for Dylan McMonagle and William McCreary. My Maid Alfie finished second, a short head behind for Ger Lyons, while King Kwan rounded out the top 3 for Paddy Toomey.
King Coon is more sociable now, comes over towards My Maid Alfie, Big Gossie and Eros and Psyche. They're abreast racing towards the final furlong. My Maid Alfie just shades it now from King Coon. Vespertilio and Sunghai beginning their runs ahead of Big Gossie, East Hampton, Eros and Psyche, and Vespertilio's burst through. My Maid Alfie's rallying. Vespertilio, My Maid Alfie, bobbing head.
Next up, we had the listed Celebration Stakes. 3-year-olds and upward going over this mile on the good ground. Ryan Moore got things kicked off early as far as wins go, winning with Skukuza, a son of Blue Point trained by Ed Dunlop. Alakazi, in the famous Aga Khan colours, finished well in second for Johnny Murtaugh and Ben Cohen, while Kurawa, the 2-1 favourite, rounded out the top 3 for Paddy Toomey.
2.5 furlongs to go in the Colin McLaughlin Celebration listed race stakes. Skukuza, as of yet to be headed, is hunted down by Cutterwood. After them, Lord Masseuses. How you like that? The Liffey. Alakazi begins a run at the set of the track ahead of Fadi Lucy. Gone from the front is Skukuza. Has widened the advantage to over 3 lengths from Cutterwood. On the outside is Alakazi. Well inside the final furlong, it is Skukuza. They're not getting to Skukuza, who kicks on again here at the Curragh for Ryan Moore and Ed Dunlop. Alakazi second.
The day before, we had Group 1 action as well at the Curragh with the Paddy Power-sponsored Pretty Polly Stakes, over 10 furlongs for 3-year-olds and up fillies and mares, and a big step along the way for big races down the line. This was a match from the very beginning between Whirl and Kalpana, who led the market and led the race from start to finish, and finished in that order, after quite the fight from about 5 furlongs out between the pair. Kalpana, the 5-6 favourite, ridden by Colin Keane for Andrew Balding, challenged on the outside but could not get past Whirl, the Oaks runner-up, who justified that run with a big run here for Ryan Moore, Aidan O'Brien, and the Coolmore Associates. Survey ran well to finish third.
Half a mile from the finish as they make the downhill for the approach to the straight. Whirl from Kalpana, being followed after a gap of a couple of lengths. Higher Leaves nudged along third, and then Magical Hope, Servi Jancis, We Might Take the Long Way as they hit the straight. Less than 3 furlongs to go, and now ridden along is Whirl. One out coming there is Kalpana, followed by Higher Leaves, Magical Hope, Servi Jancis, We Might Take the Long Way. Racing to the final furlong and a half. A titanic tussle between Kalpana and Whirl, with the finish to themselves, breaking clear of Servi in third. 150 yards to go, and on the inside it is Whirl putting out every single stop to win the Pretty Polly from Kalpana's Servi, We Might Take the Long Way.
Very, very special, really. Very tough. Ryan gave her a great ride. Spread the pace out evenly, got the fraction spot on for a filly coming back from a mile and a half, and you're trying to outstay something. It's a difficult you're walking a very tight rope doing that, you know, but he got a spot on. She's one of those unusual fillies, doesn't blow. She's a typical marathon runner type. She's not a bit of flesh on her body, it's all muscle and bone, hardness, lovely quality head, lovely ears, very genuine. She's, listen, big lungs, doesn't blow, so she's the ultimate racing machine, really. And it was an unbelievable race to watch. Like, obviously, Colin and Ryan knew that they were each other's, and they weren't giving each other an inch the whole way, and lined up all the way and into the straight and lined up together. So I think that's what you want to come racing to watch, when you have two riders like that, two horses like that line up, and the whole strength, the whole length of the straight at the Curragh on good ground, and on a day like this, it makes it very special. So I think it's a race that we'll remember for a long time, but very special, really. Delighted for everybody, really. Delighted that she's an absolute homebred as well.
Earlier that Saturday card at the Curragh, we had the Early Stud Stakes, a Group 2 for filly 2-year-olds over 6 furlongs. And Ryan Moore, Aidan O'Brien and the Coolmore Associates continued their dominance of this division, with Beautify, a daughter of Wooten Bassett out of Words, who won well to beat out Lady Iman, the 8-15 favourite for Cher Lyons in second. Skydance rounded out the top 3.
They come past the halfway stage in the Group 2. Early Stud Filly Stakes, it's Beautify, and Ryan Moore in front on the stand side, being followed through now by Lady Iman and Colin Keane, who are poised in the centre. Over on the far side is Skydance and Billy Lee. They've got a furlong and a half to go. Beautify picked off by Lady Iman. Skydance there over on the far side. The three are abreast, 200 yards to go. Lady Iman is going to have to fight here, because running well is Beautify on the near side, and it is Beautify taking a big step forward in the early stud, has down Lady Iman. Skydance in third.
Jebel Ali Racecourse and Stables had another race it sponsored on the weekend. That was the Group 3 Anglesey Stakes for 2-year-olds over 6.5 furlongs that was run on that Saturday card. Cher Lyons made amends in this race with Susie Songs, who got the better of Flushing Meadows for Aidan O'Brien to win by a short head. Colin Keane was aboard. Ryan Moore was, of course, aboard the runner-up favourite, while Stop the Nation rounded out the top 3.
Coming on towards the halfway stage, and the order pretty much unchanged. It is Flushing Meadows leading narrowly from Susie Songs on the left, Stop the Nation followed by Kiloney Reigns, and last of all is She's Too Cool as they pass the 2. Flushing Meadows, Susie Songs in the centre. On the far side is Stop the Nation followed by Kiloney Reigns, and finally She's Too Cool racing to the final furlong. Flushing Meadows, Stop the Nation. In between them is Susie Songs. Nothing between the trio with 150 yards to go. Stride for stride, Susie Songs over on the far side just has it from Flushing Meadows. Susie Songs makes it 2 out of 2 in the Anglesey. Second, Flushing Meadows.
Next up, we had the Albasi Eco World Dubai sponsored international stakes that was run in honour of the late, great Kevin Pendergast, who recently passed. This Group 3 affair was run over 10 furlongs on that Curragh good ground, and Trust Your Instinct justified favouritism for Joseph O'Brien and Dylan McMonagle. Lafayette finished second for Noel Meade, while Deep One rounded out the top 3.
Deep One being cut back by Trust Your Instinct as these two open up an advantage over Elizabeth Jane and Lafayette next, racing towards the final furlong, and gone to the front is Trust Your Instinct, has taken it up from deep one. Lafayette stays on the outside of Elizabeth Jane, but out in front is Trust Your Instinct, and Dylan Brown McMonigal is Trust Your Instinct, atoning for last year's neck defeat into International Stakes honoring Kevin Prendergast. Lafayette and deep one, second and third, and Elizabeth Jane in fourth.
And capping our Irish action of the weekend, we go to Naas on Wednesday for the Al Shirah Racing-sponsored Irish EBF Jana Rose, a Group 3 affair for the filly 3-year-olds over 10 furlongs. Barnavara for Jessica Harrington got it done with Shane Foley in the saddle, winning by a length and a quarter over favourite Fayum for Jerry Lyons in the Juddmonte colours. And so Tibet rounded out the top three.
Barnavara on the rail, tackled by Fayum, and they moved on from Dawn Spirit, and so to bed staying on the inside of Bellicante. But with a furlong and a half to race, Barnavara still with the call. Over Fayum, they've stretched clear, Dawn Spirit and so to bed third and fourth, but inside the final furlong, Barnavara with Fayum trying to stay on the outside, and they're clear. Well inside the final furlong, Barnavara and Shane Foley in the lead. Fayum staying on the stand side, but as they go to the line, Barnavara as Meydan will win the Al Shirah. For Jessica Harrington and Shane Foley, Fayum second clear of And So To Bed.
Group 1 action in Europe continued over in France on Sunday for the Grand Prix de Saint-Cloud, which saw only 5 horses go in, but all top-notch runners, including Shima runner-up Calandigan, who was the 1-2 favourite and justified said favouritism for Francis-Henri Graffard, the Aga Khan, and jockey Mikhail Barcelona. Aventure, who placed in the Arc, ran well to be second, while Junko, also an alum of Dubai World Cup night, finished well in third for Andre Fabre. Iracine and Goliath rounded out the race.
They are spaced out, entering the last 750 metres. Junko, free sweating, still with the advantage. Goliath now looming into the wing mirrors of the leader. Avonshaw likewise in third. Calandigan in fourth. Iracine coming under pressure at the back of the field as they enter the final 400 metres. Junko is now chased along. Goliath in second. Here's Avonshaw down the middle, followed through by Calandigan. The big two coming through here. Avonshaw, white cap. Here's Calandigan in the green colours now coming through to take the advantage. Calandigan goes clear. They've had to wait. Calandigan getting what he deserves. Calandigan wins the Group 1 Grand Prix de Saint-Cloud. A facile success.
He's not ungenuine. No, the race went really well for him, and I thought he was traveling much more into the rhythm of the race this time. Michael said he still need to ask him to keep up sometimes during the race, but then in the straight, when there is rhythm and he follows the pace, he can really lengthen and quicken really strongly, and I thought he was very impressive today.
Also on that Saint-Cloud day on Sunday, we had the Group 2 Prix Eugene Adam, a 10-furlong affair for the 3-year-olds and often for horses who are late bloomers. This one saw Deriz and Francis-Henri Graffard get those Aga Khan colours, a sweep of the group action on the day. Mikhail Barcelona was of course in the saddle for his main employer. Bay City Ruler, under Victorious Racing, finished second for George Scott and Callum Shepherd shipping in from the UK, while Sinaleo rounded out the top 3 for Andre Fabre.
Coming back towards home with 600 metres to go. Scorthy Champ now trying to wind up the pace up top. Bay City Roller, though, the first challenger, now being woken up under Shepherd. Darrett's behind those. Dumonet towards the far side, still travels okay. Parachutiste is now being pulled out, as is Sinaleo, as they really are charging towards the final 200 metres. Here's Darrett's now on the outside of Bay City Roller, and Darrett's goes on. Darrett's now by a length and a half to Bay City Roller, kept going far side of Sinaleo. Darrett's, though, is 4 from 4.
French action also took place the day prior on Saturday over at Chantilly. We had a couple of listed races, including the Prix de Saint-Patrick. This one saw Dreamliner at 8-1 upset the field, beating out Tiago I and Madero, with Al-Shakab Salan, the 11-10 favourite, failing to factor, finishing 6th for Graffard. The winner comes from the Watteau yard and was ridden by Théo Bachelot.
They're down the straight, and the leader is Madero, tackled strongly by Dynamitic, with Tigo the first between them. They're into the last 400. Here comes Zarlan now with a big run, begins to run on. It is Madero and Tigo the first, followed by Zarlan, Dreamliner, and out wide Uthred is running on with Diego Ventura. Tigo the first, and Madero between them is Dreamliner, and Dreamliner's got there.
Also on Saturday at Chantilly, we had the listed Prix de Bagatelle for 3-year-olds over a mile on the good to soft going. Christophe Soumillon, never one to be counted out, won well here with Relax, a daughter of City Light who beat out Ironbird. The favourite Vadinska did not factor at all, finishing last of all in 7th.
Going through halfway, and Cardi still with the call. Budinska in 2nd, Eponine shaken up in 3rd. No move yet from Al Sabah, under Demuro in 4th, and the other 3 have got a little bit to close here. They are headed by Ironbird in the blue and white colours towards the far side of Relax, and Yoga Master must pass them all. Cardi, though, still travelling well with 400 metres left to travel. It is Cardi woken up on the front end, leading by 2. Down the middle, Relax is getting going under Sumi. Between runners, Ironbird is picking up. Vadinska can't offer anymore. Likewise, Al Sabah as they enter the final furlong. Relax has taken over. The advantage is a length and a half, and Ironbird running on well into 2nd will not catch Relax, who scores well.
Now let's head over to the UK, which had a few races definitely of note. Including at Newcastle, we had the Jennings Bet Group 3 Chip Chase Stakes, where Diligent Harry himself, placed in the Al Cause last year, ran well to beat out Enough, a 13:51 turf sprint winner, and sounding out the top 3 for Jack Shannon. Clive Cox trained the winner, who was ridden by Safi Osborne.
And it's Diligent Harry who's showing them a clean pair of heels at the moment. He's clear by about 4 lengths. The others now being pushed along to play catch-up. That includes Ferris and Array, and Kind of Blue down the centres under pressure, but he is making up some progress. Diligent Harry trying to steal the spoils here as he comes up to the final furlong in the hands of Safi Osborne. Anaf comes out of the pack and begins to close him down. Ferris back in 3rd, then Array. It's Diligent Harry being wheeled in here by Anaf on the outside. This is going to be tight. Anaf and Diligent Harry. Diligent Harry very gamely.
Also this week in the UK, we had the Criterion Stakes, a Group 3 affair on the 28th that was sponsored by Albasti EcoWorld Dubai. The 7-furlong 3-year-old Nap affair saw Quinault, an old favourite, win well for Jason Hart and Stuart Williams. The gelding beat out Room Service as well as Pabris into 3rd. The favourite, Lake Forest, could only finish 6th.
Quinault, who's bounding down the Knaves Mire onto the final 3 furlongs. Formal is in 2nd place. Lethal Levi, the orange jacket, on the right. Prague is racing in 4th, 2 lengths away. Pabarus is under pressure. Lake Forest is being driven along further back. The blue and white Silks on the left. Room Service is trying to close as well. Nostrum's in rear as Quinault brings them down towards the final furlong and a half. He's still in front by over a length. Lethal Levi in 2nd place. Pabarus on the right, trying to challenge from Prague. Formal. Lake Forest can't get there, and Quinault is still the leader. Pabarus is closing the gap slowly over on the far side. Lethal Levi between them, running on his Room Service. Quinault is beginning to empty late on, but driven out by Jason Hart, will make all.
We head over to Carlisle on June 25th, which hosted the Irish Stallion Farms EBF Eternal Stakes, a listed affair for the fillies 3-year-olds over 7 furlongs of soft going. Rafe Beckett's favourite, Sakara Sands, would not be denied here, the daughter of Oasis Dream winning by 2.5 lengths over Fleetwater. Russell Ryan was aboard for his main employer. Glamis Road rounded out the top 3.
Up the hill they come, back inside the 3, crossing to the near side rail. Love Talk lays down the challenge. Verse of Love is right there. Sakara Sands is still prominent, so too is Glamis Road, and in the centre the 3rd Star. All to play for. Sakara Sands has taken it on inside the final couple. Sakara Sands opens up by a length and a half. Glamis Road is giving chase. The 3rd Star is kept going. Then Verse of Love, who hasn't really picked up. Fleetwater's trying to finish, but Sakara Sands and Ross Ryan are in front inside the final half furlong. Trying to come out of the pack is Fleetwater, but Sakara Sands is doing enough and will lift the Eternal Stakes. Fleetwater for 2nd, Glamis Road was 3rd.
And to round out the action over in the UK, we go over to HQ, which saw the Empress Filly Stakes, a listed affair, saw Argentine Tango for Tim Easterby get it done by a head at 9-1 value. Midnight Tango was back in second at 5-1, while 6-4 favorite Bella Lyra could only settle for third.
Coming down towards halfway, Amberia bows along in front by about a neck. Argentine Tango running in second place. Orange Bella Lyra, favourite showing in just about in third position. Then towards the left is the Grey Filly Game Striker. Milaf behind those. Anthelia, light blue, off towards the right. And switching towards the right as well in turquoise, Midnight Tango. As they head down with a furlong and a half to go. Amberia nearest to us, drifting a little bit but still showing in front. Bella Lyra, Argentine Tango behind those. And then Midnight Tango running on. Argentine Tango, white and dark blue in the centre of them. Amberia nearest to us trying to fight back. Bella Lyra the orange, the turquoise Midnight Tango as well. Tight here between Argentine Tango, Midnight Tango, Bella Lyra and Amberia.
On the 27th at Newcastle, we saw Charlie Appleby get in on the action with a Group 3 win in the Jennings Betton Delves Hoppings Filly Stakes. This race was won by Diamond Rain, a daughter of Shamardell out of Dancing Rain, who beat out Tasmania. The final margin was a length and 3/4 with William Buick, of course, aboard for his main employer. Charlotte's Web rounded out the top three.
They head down to the final two. It's all to play for. Imperial Quarter trying to kick. Down the near side is Anna Swan together with Golden Ocean. Charlotte's Web and Diamond Rain going over towards the far side, and Diamond Rain lengthening well has taken it up now from Charlotte's Web, who moves into second place. Tasmania staying on towards the far side as Diamond Rain edges across towards the near side, but has got them contained here in the Jennings Betton Delves Hoppings Filly Stakes. Diamond Rain is an easy winner.
And last but not least, as far as the UK standpoint, we go to see another big win for Godolphin this week, and that was Beckford's Folly, a 2-year-old colt definitely worth following, who won a 6-furlong 2-year-old novice affair in his second start. The son of Lope de Vega is out of Fonthill Abbey by, of course, Dubawi. William Buick was aboard for the 2 3/4 length victory that came as the 3-1 second choice.
They are now past the halfway stage, and it continues to be Romeo Montague has the advantage to the grey Rydale Frosty. On the left is Giles Glory. Drivers on the extreme right, and switching towards the right is Beckford's Folly in an attempt to come with a run. Romeo Montague leads at the furlong pole, but Beckford's Folly and Rydale Frosty have surged past it now. All blue, Beckford's Folly goes on quickly. Scampers away, Beckford's Folly, William Buick to win by over 2.
And the last place we will stop this week as far as geographics go is the United States, which had a plethora of graded stakes, topped by the Grade 1 Stephen Foster Stakes, a $1 million affair that saw the return of Hitch Show, our Dubai World Cup winner, who was sent off as one of the long shots in this race because of such a deep field. The favorite in the race was Mindframe for Todd Pletcher with a Rad Ortiz, and he did justify that favoritism, beating out Breeders' Cup Classic winner Sierra Leone by a length. Godolphin's first mission ran on well to finish third, while Mystic Dan, last year's Kentucky Derby winner, finished fourth. Another 5 3/4 lengths back in fifth, and a bit of a disappointment was Hitch Show.
First mission, first at the quarter pole. Mindframe draws alongside. Mystic Dan does it again. He cut the corner. He's down inside third. Sierra Leone is fourth. 1 furlong to go. Mindframe has taken charge. Mindframe kicks clear by 2. Mystic Dan is rallying boldly down inside. 2 lengths to make up. 16th to go. Sierra Leone's hanging tough as well. But it's Mindframe's Foster. Mindframe does it a length in the end.
Stakes action that day at Churchill Downs was kicked off by the day's biggest star, reigning horse of the year Torpedo Anna, who returned in the Fleur-de-Lis, a Grade 2 affair over 9 furlongs. Winning well by 3 lengths, she beat out Royal Spa as well as Taxed. Brian Hernandez Jr. was aboard for Kenny McPeak.
Torpedo Anna on cruise control off the turn. Torpedo Anna set down for the drive now. Shifts inward just a bit, but she's clear by 2. Royal Spa back into second. Farther back, Taxed is third. Final 16th coming. Torpedo Anna clear by 3. Royal Spa's chasing her all the way to the wire. Torpedo Anna. She's not done, not even close.
And last but not least, what we'll cover this week from the United States was the Grade 2 Wise Dan Stakes, a $500,000 affair that saw Brilliant Birdie and Taking Candy give Cherie DeVaux a 1-2 finish. Brian Hernandez Jr. was also aboard for this victory, while Jose Ortiz was aboard the runner-up. Laganos rounded off the top 3 for Steve Asmussen.
They're off the turn. Mi Hermano Ramon confronted by Brilliant Birdie. They wander outside together. In the meantime, Laganos and Taking Candy are coming up the rail. Fort Washington is 5th, final 16th. Brilliant Birdie short lead as they come to the wire. Taking Candy now 2nd. Laganos inside. Brilliant Birdie got it.
Now let's look at what's coming up this week from around the world as far as Group 1 action. On Friday, July 4th, Independence Day in the United States, is the Belmont Derby, a Grade 1 stakes over 9.5 furlongs on the grass. Over in the UK, we have the Group 1 Coral Eclipse Stakes, one of the biggest races at 10 furlongs around the world, and one we always look forward to as a clash between the generations. Later that same day, over in the US, we have the Grade 1 Belmont Oaks. And last but not least, on Sunday, July 6th, we have over in France the Group 1 Prix Jean Prat. We thank you for tuning in and hope to see you here next week on Past the Post. My name is Michael Adolphs, and may all your photo finishes be winning ones.